In the lower left-hand corner with the yellow Zerg player from Cascade, it's Minato. I remember this guy. He was a big player for them against in this first season of the team league. He did quit since then. He didn't play much in season 2 or season 3 really. Just rejoined the team kind of recently, but he's still pretty good. So Minato down here in the bottom left. So I remember a game he played against Jachi, I think, on in one of the team league games, and it was a pretty good game. It was a really sick game actually, if I'm going to be honest. So this guy, he's got some skills. See how he does here today. In the upper right hand corner of the map we have our teal Zerg player from alternate. It's Lambo, who's been having a really great season. He had a great second season, he had a great third season so far. Can he help his team even up this series? Best of 7 all kill. Winners go on to the grand finals where they will play against StarTale. The losers drop to the third place match where they will get matched up against Con G Sports to battle for third place in the league. As Vestron comes down here and pops down the hatchery and begins to expand. So, slightly different builds then. Minato going for the pool first, Lambo going for the hatchery first, into a gas now. So, Lambo going to actually get a little bit aggressive here. This is actually something if you're watching the Connecting Slovenia Christmas League. This is something we saw happening a little bit earlier today from Shine. He went for a hatch first into a gas into a pool, and he was very aggressive with it. And of course you can be very aggressive because you have such a fast speed, and Ling floods, that sort of thing, can be very popular. And generally just Ling Bling Wars and that sort of stuff can be very fun to watch off this sort of opening. So game number 2 here in this best of 7 all kill. Again, we missed game number 1 because it was started while we were casting Carnage versus StarTale. Carnage versus StarTale ended a little bit faster than we expected it to, and because of that we just decided to come straight into this and cast from game number 2. So yeah, Minato is sending an Overlord in towards the main base right now, trying to see what's up, trying to see what's happening. And apart from that, not really too much else happening about on the map. His own gas has just finished up here, so he's going to be about 40-ish, 30-40 seconds behind in terms of gas mining, in terms of his speed timing. And Lambo is on that second speed right now. Keeps one worker in gas as well, so the potential to go into a baneling nest fairly quickly from this, or any other kind of tech he may be interested in, whatever that could be. There's a few different possibilities here really. As a drone going to start going down to the natural here. So Lambo with his natural hatchery up and running, his queens on the way, double queen being made right now. And again, he's about to hit 50 gas here, so see if he wants to go back into this gas at all. So going to be about halfway done. Just a single Overlord on the way, so not looking as though he's going to spam out a bunch of Zerglings anytime soon. And try and chase away this Overlord from his main base, but it's already far gone, and I'd be surprised if it's even worth chasing it any further. So he's going to get a couple of shots on it, but again, not really going to achieve too much else there. And we'll now just come back towards this hatchery. He's going to come back towards the hatchery, and we see a baneling nest starting to come down for him. A baneling nest coming down for Minato as well, so the difference here being that Minato just stayed in gas once he started circling speed, so he can get his baneling nest about the same time. Lambo's back in gas now as well. He's only about 20 gas ahead in total then. And Minato has a little bit of a worker lead as well. 26 drones, 28 drones now to 23. A big round of drones about to finish up though for Lambo, which will actually put him just a single worker or so ahead. So it's pretty even right now. As a few Zerglings crossing the map. I'm going to try and see what they can do. Baneling Nest, Spanquil are both finishing up here at the front, and these Zerglings starting to run forward. And they're going to start getting a couple of kills here. So immediately Minato is starting to lose some Zerglings, and Lambo going to get out of there. That Spanquil are going to help a little bit, as it looks as though we are going to see some Banelings starting to morph in here. Overlord does not see them. He will move back to check, though, and he will actually spot them now, so now he knows. And that these Banelings are coming in. He knows he's got to be defensive. He's got a couple of his own Banelings on the way. And can Lambo get anything done with this? Well, I don't think so. Not with this Spanquil and the Queen at the front. And these Banelings are actually just going to start retreating back home. Third base is going to come up here for Lambo. Because he holds the map control, he's going to feel fairly confident in taking that. He's not going to worry too much about it, as we see double evolution chamber coming down for Minato. So whether he's going to play, he could play a double melee upgrades. He comes into the main base here, Lambo does, and he sees that there's no lair started just yet. And to see double evo chamber come down like this, generally I would expect to see melee upgrades coming out of it. We don't see a roach one, we don't see a lair on the way to start up Gallery Constitution roach speed. So coming across the map now, he starts his carapace straight away, and again we'll keep an eye on those upgrades. It looks as though Lambo is going to have more than enough to defend for now, as 3 more Banelings get morphed in. A few of these Zerglings going to move forward and chase these units back once again. A couple of Zerglings going to try and come in and scout for Minato. So why do I think his melee upgrades? Well, because look at what Lambo's doing. This is what we'd kind of usually expect. RO4 and an Evo Chamber coming down at similar-ish times, +1 starting, but the most important thing, the lair coming in, so that you can start roach speed nice and quick. And we're still yet to see a lair come in for Minato. Still yet to see that second Evo Chamber being used. And he is going to put down the RO4. So maybe just waiting a little while, waiting to see what he scouted, before he actually decided to say, hey, okay, well, let's go into roaches and not ling upgrades. But now he's in a little bit of trouble. His Zerglings, I think, that actually walled off. And that's a big mistake by Minato. He's got his he's walled off the front, and that means that these Zerglings are going to be able to pick off the third base, and that's a big mistake here. And nearly losing a lot of Zerglings to a couple of Banelings as well. And now he's going to re-wall himself in here, which is a questionable decision. As Lambo picks off a ton of the Zerglings now, and this is not looking good at all, as these Banelings are not going to commit any further forward. But Minato is not in a good spot. He's lost his third base. The thing is, he can't be the aggressor either. He's got to be the defender because the roach speed is so much faster for Lambo. If he's the aggressor, you know, any fight he takes, he's 100% committed to. There's no turning around once you've done damage and you want to turn back home. No way, because the roach speed is not going to allow you, the roach speed of Lambo will not allow him to retreat. So, you know, Minato is stuck. He's got to sit and defend, but he's got a slower third, and wow, things just aren't looking good for him right now. So. Zerglings just working their way through this debris, and well, that's going to get taken down pretty quickly. Lambo opened up a little bit more mobility between the bases and the potential gold base, which you could take a little bit later on, as a few Banelings are going to come down this right hand side of the map and try and come in and detonate towards the third base or so, I would imagine. A few more roaches just sitting around here, there and everywhere, and can move forward with a few of these right now, as Queen's slowly going to try and take down this overlord, but won't be in time before it gets into an overseer and flies off, so not going to be able to do too much with this. A little bit of a counter-attack lined up here from Lambo should Minato try and move out on the map. Overseer finishes and Lambo will escape with this right now and get away without too much further issue, as a couple of creep tubers continue to be spread here and continuing to push forward towards the third base. This third base is just about to finish now, and I mean, think about how long this third base for Lambo has been up. He's about 8 workers ahead, and he's just in a fantastic position overall. Didn't try and utilise an advantage with his roach speed, didn't try and be aggressive with that finish, and he's just going to wait for 2-1 to finish up here, and then probably try and head across the map. Although, that being said, he's trying to head across the map a little bit right now, and he has got a little bit of a roach lead, and he's behind the Carapace upgrade. But I say a little bit of a roach lead, I mean a little bit, 28 to 28 actually now, and it's actually Minato who's got a few extra in production, so these rocks going to be killed off by Lambo as well, again feeling confident enough to open up the map control and open up the mobility between this on this route. And we'll just back off now for a couple more moments, wait for some more roaches to come in. Again, doesn't really want to commit before his upgrade's finished, that'd be a little bit silly. It's just playing this out nice and patiently and taking a gold base behind his map presence right now. So taking the gold base, I mean, if this goes unpunished, Minato, he'll just continue to fall behind here in this game as these roaches continue to group up, mass up, and begin to move potentially forward. A couple more roaches popping out here, and Lambo gonna keep on moving forward. And he will start to come up this ramp here in a couple of moments' time. I think he's taking off a couple of creep tumors here. Still no upgrades finished for him, so he's just going to wait a little while longer. He's got Pro and Tunnel Claws coming in as well. And those extra upgrades will allow him to maybe peel off a few roaches, go harass at the third. He has actually got that Ling Bane counter attack available to come into this third base. He's going to pick off the Queen here almost straight away. Roaches turning around to begin coming across to deal with this. And these Banes are going to try and escape, and in fact they'll stay alive, so can be utilised at a later time. As at the same time, Lambo trying to get a little something done at the front, but isn't quite able to get that done. So, you know, there's a little bit too much defense there right now. As these Banes do make it into this mineral line, actually coming back in here, and they do blow up quite a few drones. 6 workers killed, and not too bad, as Lambo now takes a 13 worker lead, which does mean he has a smaller army supply. And he's going to start taking the fight now. He is just ahead on upgrades for a couple of seconds, but now it's actually going to be Minato who's ahead on upgrades, and with a much larger army as well. Is Lambo going to be able to have enough here? He's going to start kind of retreating. He's going to take a few roaches, lost for 3 during his retreat, but he needs his reinforcements as soon as possible. He needs to be able to defend this. He may just split on the high ground and try and defend from here, But Minato, with a little bit more army supply, is able to push through, but it's Lambo who can remax, and now the army supplies are even, so having that little bit of extra worker count is now starting to pay off here for Lambo. He's been able to mine a bit more than his opponent, being able to rebuild a little bit faster. He loses his gold base, but that's not the end of the world. I mean, there's no 4th base down yet for Minato, so not the end of the world losing that just yet, as these roaches are perhaps ready to move forward. So, yeah, a few more roaches coming up to the right hand side now, and could come in here, and here we go. They're actually going to start collapsing in on this, and these roaches are going to go for one big fight now. It is going to be closer reinforcements for Lambo here, as it's going to be Lambo who's got the concave as well, and Minato's sort of stepping forward into this, but I think Lambo's just going to have a little bit too much when it comes to who's going to win it out in the end. And look at this, Lambo's going to sort of step forward, taking down every single one of these roaches. 40 supply up now, and I don't think Minato can remax on this. Again, he hasn't had the best of economies because he's lost a few workers here and there, and just in general, Lambo has been ahead in the economy game. And GG well played will be called. Lambo takes game number 2 of this best of 7. And alternate even up this series. 1 game apiece, so a little bit more of a series in this one than in Carnage versus SC2ITL. And guys, we'll take a quick commercial break. When we come back, it'll be game number 3 between alternate and Cascade. See who's going to take the lead in this semi-final match. Is it going to be Cascade to retake the lead, or will it be alternate to this league? Before we came live, and we had to have a 5-minute delay for that, and didn't want to turn the stream off and on, so we just kept it live. So we're running with a 5-minute delay today. Let's just go in game and introduce our players, shall we, instead of just blabbering on about nonsense. In the upper right hand corner of the map is our teal Zerg player from Team Alternate, evening up this series. Can he put them into the lead here in this semi-final match? It's Lambo. And his opponent down in the lower left hand side is going to be the red Terran player from Cascade. It is Strelok. Of course, one of the recent additions to Cascade, and now a part of their kind of strongest possible lineup. I imagine Cass is going to be ready to play for them today as well. I imagine as well after Cass, Madonnamus probably ready to play. Could use Complain, Damaga as well. I mean, Cascade are such a strong team nowadays. It's kind of insane how many good players they have. So let's see how this is going to go. Hatch first, Barracks on the way to start off with. But no gas from our Terran player, which is the most important thing to note here. So no gas, and this could be a little bit of an interesting opening then from Mr. Strelok. I don't know why my chat has burst into a discussion between Call of Duty and CS, but you know, I'm not gonna comment. I hold no views. I enjoy playing a bit of COD. I also enjoy playing a bit of CS:GO. Both good games in their own rights. Alright, so coming down this left hand side of the map here, an Overlord is Strelok. This is what I kind of thought he was maybe going to do when I saw him not taking a gas here. 3 command centers coming in off of no gas at all, so very greedy opening here from our Ukrainian Terran player. And I mean, if he's not going to get punished for it, that's going to be great for him. It's going to be fantastic for him. He's going to be able to do an absolute bunch of stuff to follow this up. So, you know, he's going to have a really great economy to work off of. And in the upper right, Lambo, I mean, he's not doing too much right now for himself. He's just getting Zergling speed. So for now, Lambo, both players playing fairly safe. They know it's cross-map, or at least Lambo knows it's cross-map. Strelok, has he scouted or not? No, he has no idea what positions his opponent is coming in from. So Strelok right now, a little bit unaware as to what's going on. But, you know, Lambo knows it's a cross-map game, and we'll see how he maybe tries to play this out. For now, it looks like he just wants to go into a macro game, maybe take a third hatchery sometime soon. One thing that will start to kick in for him soon is he's going to say, well, where are the Hellions? Because your Hellions are, you know, first of all, where's the Reaper? And then second of all, where are the Hellions? He's not seen anything just yet. He's actually going to try and come in to this position here on this high ground. He sees a Marine out, so immediately he knows now that it was some kind of gas nest opening. Or some kind of Marine opening with your reactor down. he should be able to piece it together, because again, Hellions aren't going to be out for another minute or so, and so he should be able to say, well, the first time I saw Hellions was like 7 minutes. What does that mean? What could he have possibly done? And the answer is not take a factory for a pretty long time, because he was busy going for 3 command centers faster than you've ever seen before. So maybe Lambo can piece together the pieces. It's kind of a little bit vague, and relies heavily on his knowledge of kind of timings of Hellions and stuff like that. You'll see an SCV going to come across the map here, and first 2 Hellions going to be able to start up in production. A factory coming down, second factory, so he's going to be able to get Tech Lab onto that nice and quickly. And he's going to be able to maybe go for Infernal Pre-Ignite if he would like, or he could just make a tank very quickly as well for some defense. And moving forward here, this SVV going to be picked off by the Zergling there. So third hatchery is coming up for Lambo. And it looks as though in general we're just going to get into a bit of a macro game now, as a second factory lands on the Tech Lab. And what's it going to be then, Strelok? It's going to be another Hellion, it's going to be Blue Flame. So Blue Flame Hellions on the way, as the third command center going to move out here. And of course, because he's pretty much going to be making pure Hellions for a while, he's going to be feeling pretty safe to move out here with the third command center, because he's going to have a lot of Hellions to control the map. Armory on the way as well, so you can get some Hellbats going. I wonder if he had some starport kind of quickly to get a couple of medevacs out, get some drops rolling with them Hellbats, and try and keep Lambo back in his base. He has got Roach-Run on the way up. That's about complete here. And yeah, that Roach-Run finishes up, so he's going to have a pretty good, he's really going to have a pretty good set of units against the initial Hellions, against the initial Hellbat. And I mean, Roachers aren't the best against Hellbats, but they'll do this better than just pure Lings. So I imagine Lambo's going to be alright here, as his Hellions can't really find a way past these 2 Queens. So they're just going to turn around and hold off for now, these couple of Queens. Moving forward just a little bit. I'm going to start putting a little bit of this creep spread down. And yeah, these Hellions are going to come forward here. They're actually going to try and get a couple of these creep tumors. He gets one, and he should be able to get the second if he wanted to. You could have targeted that Queen, and the splash damage would have picked it up, as the Queens continue to push this creep forward still. And the first few Roaches are +1 missile attacks on the way. And +1 Carapace coming in as well. There's just about to finish some Roach speed, shouldn't be too far off either. And mech upgrade is going to start up from the armory for Strelok here. +1 mech weapons on the way. Infestation and Hydra didn't come down very quickly here for Lambo. And I imagine he's just going to try and go into Roach Hydra Viper as soon as he can. So now, of course, involves getting the Hive as soon as possible, as early as possible. No Swarm Hosts, no Sign Swarms. There could be Swarm Hosts out of the Infestation pit, I suppose, but it wouldn't make sense to then try and make Hydras at the same time, So yeah, it looks as though for now just going to be Roach Hydra Viper. I'm going to stick with that call for a few moments here, as first 4 being added on. Got extra factories starting to come up. There's a starport up as well, medevac being made, so we can see a little bit of drop in action getting done. And Strelok just continue to move back and hold to the middle of the map now again with these Hellions, as these Zerglings are going to try and come in towards this third base. And here they go, running in towards this third base. We're going to get taken down pretty swiftly, and loading up a couple of Hellbats to start the Hellbat drops then. And is Lambo going to be able to hold this off? That's going to be our question as we head into the next stage of the game. How much damage are these Hellbat drops going to do? Because if Lambo can stay in a strong position, he's going to be okay. But if he takes too much damage, Roach Hydra Viper is already not so great of a composition against mech. It heavily relies on hitting the timing and hitting it strongly. So you can imagine if you're going to lose some workers and have to replenish them and worry about this harassment, you're giving your mech opponent a lot more time than you really have to afford, than you can really afford, while trying to hit your timing. So his Hellbat's going to come in and going to get dropped into the natural, and number 1, number 2 get dropped off here, and already a bunch of workers going down, and that's already only 3 then. I thought it was going to be a few more. It definitely could have been a few more as this Hydra, and oh my god, no, the drones! Lambo, no! He kills another 6 there. Hellions try and run towards this third base as well. And they're just going to sacrifice in here again a few workers, and one more shot perhaps picks up another couple. So 70 workers killed in a flurry of attacks there by Strelok. And that will put him in a pretty nice position to just keep on meching his way up. Building up his army right now. Another couple of tanks out, a couple of 4s out as well. He's even got a Raven already out. He's already starting out on Starport, so he's going to look to try and head into some Ravens here. Get some Ravens out and see where he can go from there. Turret on the way down for Strelok right now at the front, and that's going to avoid any kind of burrowed roach shenanigans from happening. Interesting statistic. Alternate have never been forced to use a 4th player this season of the Team League. So they've been in pretty good shape. They've never been forced to use a fourth player. The 2 matches they lost were forfeits. Because it was the end of the season, there was no point playing them out, and we just decided to let them forfeit. So the 2 matches they lost were from forfeits. They've never been forced into a Game 7. They've never been forced into using their 4th player. So can Cascade do that today? As we see these Hellions running in and getting turned around pretty quickly. And continue to just spread through the middle of the map. Now this is something the mech player won't be able to do too much about it. I mean, he could send his Hellions forward, but he kind of sacrificed a lot of Hellions already. He doesn't really have too many more of them. Now the Road Tried Viper time is getting ready to go here. A couple of Vipers already with the energy. And let's see how this is going to work out. As we've got a couple of Vikings out, 4 more on the way, and they're just maybe a little bit too late here to kind of kill off these Vipers in time. With that being said, this army isn't moving forward just yet, so he's got a little bit more time as these tanks begin to siege, but they're very clumped up, and that's of course not going to be good when these landing clouds come in. These Vikings don't actually attack these units in the sky at all. The Viper's now going to start going down, but a little bit late. PTD comes down to absorb a few shots here, and these Roach Hydra is going to get pretty close, and we've got a few tanks in the back here still. But is it going to be enough? I'm not too sure as this Roach Hydra continues to move forward. This last tank is going to get taken down. There's still a 4 here. The Vikings are landing as well. He's going to try and add on any DPS he can. The Strelok is taking a lot of damage from this, and again his Vikings should have been trying to shoot down them Vipers a little bit sooner. And this timing is crisp and clean from Lambo. He didn't let the Hellbat drops distract him too much. He's going to take down this 3rd base, or at least force it to lift up here. He's going to be able to take down this sensor tower. A lot of depots over here as well, and this is just free damage for him right now. Just going to keep on picking this off. And Strelok looks as though he might have to tap out of game number 3 here and let Alternate go into the lead of this series and put Cascade down to 2 remaining players, because he's almost 100 supply behind right now, sending out a run by of Hellions. And this is a little bit of a shame for Strelok. This is his 2nd match in the SC2ITL, and it's going to be the 2nd match he loses after having such a successful season with Alien Invasion in the RSTL, where he took his team all the way to the finals. Unfortunately now it looks as though he's not going to be able to hold up here. Now we're in the semi-final match, and I mean again Lambo looking like he's just in a bit too good of a position. Strelok going to remove out to try and retake this 3rd. He's got a few tanks which he's just kind of rebuilt, but I mean the army for I mean at this point Lambo's army probably doesn't even need blinding clouds with it to move in. Yes, it wouldn't be a fair, an even trade, or it wouldn't be a favourable trade or an efficient trade, but he would still probably pick it up, finish the game simply because of sheer numbers of Roach Hydra. And that's exactly what he looks to do right now as he advances forward. This Terran player, Strelok, sitting back. He's a little bit more well spread on the tanks this time around. And he's got a few Hellbats up front ready to tank here. As these Vipers are going to be able to come in. And here we go, just going to come in. Drop the blind clouds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All over the shop. And this Roach Hydra is just going to stream forwards here. Pick off the rest. A couple of abducts coming in as well. The Vipers, a few of them get taken down. 3 remain. But he's not going to be able to stop this 3rd base from going down, and GG is going to be called there. And Lambo will take game number 3 to put his team up 2-1 and taking the lead for the first time in this semi-final match of the SC2ITL. Cascade find themselves behind. I know what a shame it would be if Cascade weren't to make the finals. They've had a fantastic season. They played so well throughout, and they looked unbeatable at the start. Then they had a couple of freak losses, and they got back on their their power wagon and just powered their way through to the playoffs, no trouble at all, and took down Mine 74 games to 2 in the round of 8, and here they are now trailing in the semi-finals, 2-1. They've got some strong players left though. Dominus, maybe Complain. We've also got Cass potentially able to play, so a strong set of players. We'll see who comes out next for Cascade in a few moments time. Game 4 is coming up in a few moments, guys. Don't go too far. If you're enjoying the show again, you can hit that follow button on the stream to come back and see us again when we go live. And in general, our website, sc2improve.net, Twitter at sc2_improve, and facebook.com/sc2improve. And if you want to check out any VODs, you can go to youtube.com/sc2improve as well. Guys, thanks for tuning in. It's the SC2ITL. So let's introduce our players then. In the upper left-hand corner of the map, we've got our Teal Zerg player from Team Alternate. It's Lambo. In the bottom right-hand corner of the map, from Cascade, we have our Red Protoss player. It's a Dominus. Maybe, guys, we should do a giveaway to liven up the chat. Will that make you guys alive? Do you want a giveaway? We could do a Steam game giveaway, I suppose. I think I've got a couple of Steam games left to do, so we can do that. We could do a giveaway. OMG Pirate, thanks Woody, wonderful stream by the way. Thank you for watching and tuning in. And yeah, I hope you enjoy. So, in this PVC, let's move away from these probes. They make such an annoying sound, right? It's just so in your, like... Does that not bother anyone? This is one reason I could never play pros. Listen to it. It's so annoying. It's so, like, in your face compared to, like, the drone or the SCV noise. It really, really bothers me anyways. So, a bit of a slow start here. It's just PVZ, so, I mean, probably not going to be anything too crazy going on at the start of this. How's everyone doing? I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all having a good time. Hope you're all enjoying the show, as I've said multiple times already. If you're enjoying again, hit that follow button on the stream. You can also subscribe to the channel if you really enjoy it and you want to support SC2 Improve and our tournaments. And you can donate as well. All the money we make goes straight back into tournaments. And in the next couple of days, we're going to be announcing SC2 Improve Team League Season 4. Oh yes. And I promise you it's going to be bigger and better than ever. And I don't want to spoil anything just yet, but it's going to be really good. It's going to be amazing. That's how good it's going to be. I'm really, really excited for it. So, guys, let's get back into this game and try and talk a little bit about what is going on, which right now isn't really all too much. It's just Overlord moving forward here and getting into the main base of Autonomous, going to be able to see exactly what's going on. Now, if you don't know too much about Autonomous, then there's a couple of things you should know. He's very he often does play weird styles, but recently he's been playing fairly standard games. So you know, we can expect a few different things out of him. He's quite enjoyed taking 3 fast bases and then going straight into say for example kind of a big kind of 10 gate stalker attack, blink stalker attack, when that +2 finishes up. So quite interested to see how this how he is going to tackle this right now. A couple of Zerglings just nibbling away at a pylon there for a couple of moments. Had to tab out. Sorry for the lack of sound for a couple of moments there. Had to tab out and set the stream onto actual Cascade versus Alternate instead of StarTale versus Carnage. And yeah, I should probably update my stream title as well. Oh, it helps if you remember to do everything, doesn't it? Not too much going on then, just a Forge coming down to follow up. There's Nexus first, so Autonomous already looking to head into some form of upgrades. Not worrying about adding on any extra, gateways or anything too quickly here. As, you know, some players will still head up to 3 gateways and then do a little bit of a move across the map and then with a few sentries and try and force some units out. There's a 3rd hatchery coming in here for Lambo. So 3rd hatchery coming in, that finishes up right now. And Lambo moving forward with this queen will be able to try and get some injects going onto this, and pretty standard situation right now as the gas come in. For playing against the Forge Fast Expand, nothing too crazy about this at all. I guess it wasn't a Forge Fast Expand, but it was a pretty fast Nexus, and Lambo hasn't really got much to fret about here as a couple of sentries come out. Of course, it wasn't a Forge Fast Expand, it was a Gateway Expand, but this Forge came in pretty fast afterwards, and you know, he's in a pretty good spot is what I'm trying to say. It's nothing too crazy to see a Zerg player in this sort of scenario, based on what the Protoss player has done so far. These couple of Zerglings just chilling around and actually getting fired upon by this Mothership Core now. That's going to get turned away. And again, not really too much going on, but a fast fed base going to come in from Autonomous. So again, a very fast fed base, 7 minutes. And we'll be able to pop the cannon down in the middle here. Start up Twilight Council, start up +2 most likely. And this is spotted here by Lambo. So nice little bit of a scout there. Sees what's up. That Zergling will lose its life for it. But hey, it's worthwhile. Go Autonomous being cheered from Leozip in the chat. Hey Glide, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. There's 3 sentries here. Well, these couple of probes going to come down to the low ground. And start mining. Robo facility coming up as well. Whoa, no Twilight Council. Interesting. Okay, Twilight Council coming down at the same time, so we're still going to see +2 and Blink. Just wants that rover facility down nice and quickly as well, get a little bit of vision of what's going on and stuff like that. And yeah, for now, not too much else really happening. Hallucinated Phoenix flies out. What's my favourite colour? I don't know, dark blue. My favourite colour changes every day. Dark sea blue, I don't know, something deep, something sapphire-y. Ruby red. Black, if you want to have black as a colour. I don't know what my favourite colour is. Lucid Phoenix got a nice little scout off here, but honestly there's not too much for him to really see. And as that rover facility finishes up, we're going to see an observer start up here immediately. Hydroden and Infestation Pit both coming down here then from Lambo as well. Just preparing for the longer part of this game. And yeah, not really too much else to say then, as we just have this next observer coming in here as well. A few roaches on the way out, and a lot of gateways being added on. So it's starting to look as though this could very well be some form of aggression off of these 3 bases. 7 gateways being added on, going up to 10 gates in total, no gas at the 3rd. And, well, that looks as though we're going to, slowly start to see a 3rd base come up here for Adominus. So, no, I'm not paying attention, sorry. Slowly see this 3rd base come up. Oh, it's already here. Slowly start to see a bit of aggression come out from Adominus. He walks in a bunch of stalkers now, and again, a war prism coming out to aid in what's going to be a big attack across the map. And we said at the start of the game, this is something he's enjoyed doing recently. Let's see if he can make it work out here. I can't remember who he did it against. I think he did this against Zervas in the quarterfinals when he was playing against My Insanity. And this Overlord getting chased away now. Is there enough out right now for Lambo? I'm not really too sure. 11 roaches and 8 hydras. He doesn't really have too much. He's going into Hive as well, but of course this is going to hit well before that Viper timing is up. So there's Stalker Force coming forward here. Force fields will be a big factor in this as Lambo prepares to defend. Some Creep Tumors being killed off as well. Get rid of that vision as fast as you can. And here we go. Force fields just start coming down. And a couple come down to the left, a couple to the right. Only letting a few of these units forward here. +2 not yet finished for Dominus. But he's going to keep on fighting this anyway. A few Zelds coming in to help tank as well as Hydra to the right hand side will get picked off, and blinking forward here finds an opportunity to start taking some, doing some damage as a few of these Hydras are going to go down, some of the roaches as well. And Dominus is going to continue taking damage right now as these Stalkers are going to push forward here. And blinking forward now. It looks as though Dominus has had a pretty good start to this fight, but it's not over yet. Lambo, he'll continue to make units. He's continuing to actually, he's making a Viper as well, so feeling fairly confident that he can hold this off. The Viper could help with a Blinding Cloud, but other than that, I'm not sure how useful it will be, as Adominus is just going to blink micro backwards here and see how well he can trade. But it looks as though it's going pretty well, because even drones are having to be pulled right now as these Hydras, there's nothing really else for them to tank for them, and they need stuff to tank for them. Otherwise, well, if nothing's there to tank, they die pretty quick. And a few more Lings about to pop out, and is Lambo going to be able to hold on? Slowly but surely he's lost his supply advantage, and now he's at a supply deficit here, as it's going to be Adominus continuing to push forward and looking to even up this series 2 games apiece right now. And these Hydras again looking to try and do whatever they can, but the 3rd base has been completely breached. There's not enough Hydras left. A few more roaches being made here, but it's not quite going to be enough, and Adominus is going to be able to take down the Evolution Chamber. Goodbye +2, goodbye 3rd hatchery as well. I think that's a single few Zealots on here, this 4th base as well under attack, and Adominus is going to be able to take down some major buildings here of Lambo, and Lambo is in a lot of trouble now. He has to kind of try and hold on with these few units, and he drops a Blinding Cloud, which is kind of nice. These Stalkers walk forward into the Roach Hydra. He has to blink away with that, but again, he just has a little bit too much for Lambo to really be able to deal with now, and he's going to be able to blink forward aggressively here, picking off these last few Hydras, the last couple of Roaches. GG is called, and Adominus takes game number 4. And again, our series is all evened up here in this best of 7 all-kill. Cascade taking game 4 to put us at 2 games apiece. Well, guys, what can I say? I say, let's do a giveaway. Alright, so, because there's some giveaway hype in the chat, so let's just do a giveaway. Let's set this up quickly. So, if you're a subscriber, you get 4 times as many chances. And you've got to be able, you must be following to win. That's only fair, right? So make sure you're following the chat, and we'll set it onto keyword. So make sure you're following the stream, and if you get if you're a subscriber, you get more chances to win. Also, if you subscribe this month, we've already hit our subscriber goal, so you'll be entered into a subscriber only giveaway. So another chance of a giveaway, and you also get a bunch of benefits like replay packs, etc. So subscribe if you fancy it. Right now, let's just put the keyword in as SC2ITL. Okay, so if you type SC2ITL into the chat, guys, you'll be entered into the giveaway. Let's just close this down a little bit, and we'll be back in a few moments with game number 5. And we'll be doing that giveaway. We'll leave this running for a little while. If you type SC2ITL in, make sure you don't then leave the chat. So just SC2ITL, and then we'll be back in a few moments, and we'll run this after a couple more games. So guys, BRB, quick break. Game number 5 is on the way. It's all tied up in this best, guys, to the SC2 Improved Team League semi-finals. And hey, things are getting serious right now. We have Showtime coming out for alternate. How's everyone doing again? Before we go into this game, let's have a very quick reminder of the giveaway going on right now. If you type SC2ITL into the chat, I can see a bunch of you starting to do it right now. If you do that, you're going to show up on this left-hand side again. A subscriber gets 4 times the luck, aka 4 entries basically, and you know, a bunch of other stuff comes with being a subscriber as well. That is one of them. Mark, you can do it. Yeah, you get them awesome emoticons which Mark's showing off, and a bunch of other stuff. So guys, that's that. Go do that. But otherwise, let's go into our game and introduce our players. So, starting in the upper left-hand corner of the map, our blue Protoss player from Team Alternate, ladies and gentlemen, it's none other than Showtime. So, Showtime up here in the upper left-hand corner of the map. In the lower right-hand corner, we have our red Protoss player making this a PvP. Oh yes, it's a Dominus. And now there's no escaping the awful sounds of buildings being made and these awful probe sounds and stuff like that. Wow, look how alive the chat is. Look how alive the chat becomes. Look at that. Look how alive you all become. Again, make sure to hit the follow button as well if you want to win the giveaway. You're not going to get it if you ain't a follower. It's a fair trade, I promise. Anyways, so gateway units on the way up. Sorry, gateway's on the way up here. It's just a couple of gateways coming in. Oh my god, that was all of a sudden I've had a spam of followers. At the start of this PvP, we've got double gas coming down for both of these players. Cybernex Core coming in as well for a Dominus, and it's a little bit faster for Showtime. So straight away he is a little bit more aggressive potentially. He's got a lot of Chrono Boost saved up as well, a lot more than a Dominus. I wonder if Showtime is just going to immediately start dropping some Chrono Boost onto his Cybernex Core and trying to get Warp Gate out as fast as possible. Of course, this is such a crucial game for both teams. You know, Showtime being one of the best players for Alternate, he is probably going to be hoping that he can, you know, basically try and probably going to be hoping he can, you know, win this, take his team to the match point. And I mean, whoever does win is going to go on to match point. If that is going to be really, really important. So, so yeah. Probe coming across the map here, going to head over to the left hand side. Once again, it has been on a little bit of a sky mission. Sees his opponent isn't in the top right, and that's all Showtime wants to know. The Oracle's going to do the rest of the work here. The Oracle, which Adonis has already scouted out, he's seen that Stargate on the way, and Warpgate just starting up now for Showtime. So he's been rushing out this Stargate play, and now Adonis is actually Chrono Boosting into his Warpgate, and he's got a second gateway coming down, so potentially going to be going to go a little bit all in with for himself here. Maybe try and go for some free gateway pressure or something along those lines. And that's a couple of Stalkers now being made. It's actually going to be Phoenix opening from Showtime, which is a little bit interesting. I thought it would be a Oracle, especially because he delayed his Warp Gate and everything to get this out. But just going to play the Phoenix and see what he can get done with these, as Adonis is actually going to just 4-gate. Wow. Well, the thing is, this Phoenix might actually be able to spot this straight away, and then immediately Showtime says, right, build a sentry as soon as I can. Coming in now, is he going to see all of these gateways? Yes, he is. He sees all of them, and immediately he knows what he's up against. Cancel the Phoenix, buddy. Build a Void Ray. He's actually making another Phoenix. Now that kind of works as well, because the Phoenix can lift up, take units out of the fight. Mothership Core was not quite there to see this probe building anything, and well, what is Showtime going to build out of his gateway? Nothing just yet. He doesn't really have the gas to do anything to build anything too important, as he's building another Phoenix. He's going to see that pylon, he's going to pick up this probe, so there's going to be only one pylon out on the map, which is kind of nice, and this probe does get taken down now, but is that energy, would have it been better used on some units instead? Showtime does have full overcharge available, remember, and these 3 Stalkers are moving forward. He has to be so careful right now. He sees them, surely. I think he may have just missed them. He's moving the mothership core back, though, and this is a very tense moment of time here as Showtime starts up his robo facility. His own warp gate's about to finish up. He's got a Zealot on the way, and he will be able to warp in a few moments' time. Only 3 Stalkers so far. They're going to try and do a little bit of damage here, and they're trying to force full overcharge, and they do force it as a few more Stalkers start to come in, but they're just going to sit in this full overcharge. There's nothing else to really stop them, as these Phoenix are going to counterattack and try and get some workers killed as well. Adonis has already dropped his own front overcharge here, though. Showtime loses a pylon, and I think Showtime might be in a little bit of trouble right now, as these Stalkers going to sit back and wait. A robo facility about to finish up. Is he going to be able to get an immortal out, though? That's the question, and he's going to be supply blocked, and that's a big issue. He's going to lose another pylon as well out on the edge here, and this is not looking good for Showtime at all. His robo facility was oh, he's going to lose it. He's going to lose the power to his robo facility. Oh, this is terrible. This could not be going worse for Showtime right now. His robo facility unpowered. He's not going to have another photon overcharge anymore, and he's got absolutely nothing right now to hold off against this attack from Adominus. And Adominus, he got the scout in early. He decided what he wanted to do, and Showtime just types out GG, and in 8 minutes time, Adominus takes the win, and Showtime, he's the best player. He's the best player on alternate. I'm just gonna go ahead and say I'm not gonna be crude. I think he's the best player, and I think everyone would agree with that. And he just got beat by Adominus, and now Cascade are on match point. And for the first time this season, alternate have to find a 4th player. We go. So another follow as well from Axel. Thank you very much. As we head into Deadwing for game number 6, ladies and gentlemen, let's go into this and see what's happening. Cascade versus alternate. You know, at the start of this season, it looked as though it was going to be Cascade season. It really did. They were 4 matches in. They'd only dropped a single map, and then they hit a brick wall. They hit Red Bloods. They hit, I think, Against All Authority as well. They lost to both of them. Then they fought back. They didn't lose another match since then. And this is it. Now they've made it to the semi-finals. They're on match point. Time to go to the finals, and they would be the first team ever to make it to 2 finals of the SC2 Improved Team League. Of course, they were finalists in Season 1, where they lost to Mind Sanity 4-1 in the finals. And, well, we're going to be going in game here to see whether they can make it to their 2nd finals, and this time, whether they can lift the SC2 Improved the SC2ITL Championship, see if they can win it. Again, they looked great at the start of the season, and they petered out a bit, and then they have come back hard and strong, and right now it's looking good for them. But of course, StarTale await them in the finals, which isn't going to be an easy match. They've already played once this season. Of course, that's who they lost to. They lost to Red Bloods, then StarTale, 1 week after the other. And yes, they lost to StarTale, and well, you can't blame them for losing to StarTale. But it was only 4-3, so I reckon we have a pretty good series ahead of ourselves if we do end up with Cascade StarTale finals. But hey, it's up to this guy right now in the upper left-hand corner of Deadwing. It's our Blue Terran player. Can he take us to an ace match? From Cascade, it's Adominus. No, messed up. From Alternate, in the upper left-hand corner, it is Kaup, our Blue Terran player from Team Alternate. Of course, down the lower left-hand side of the map is Adominus, and he is going to be the Red Protoss player here. Currently looking to take his team to the finals with 1 more map victory. He put them onto match point. Can he close it out? He took down Showtime, possibly the biggest threat from Alternate. Let's see what happens here. Coronavirus coming out on a probe right now, and not too much to really talk about because we're just right at the start of this game. So just a few minutes here before we really get set up. A couple of minutes before we really see some action starting to happen. Bags comes down here for Cal. Probably add on a refinery as well and go into the gas. Now, if you guys haven't seen Adominus play PvT, what you can expect is probably some kind of early Stargate play, and then in the long run, some form of Phoenix Colossi play. This is how he plays pretty much every PvT I've ever seen him play, so I'd be very surprised if he went for anything different this time around. So, this Command Center just continue to build SCVs. This gas is on the way up, and Kaup getting ready to build his Reaper and move across the map with it, get a little bit of scan information. Already moving out with the SCV here, going to try and see if his opponent is in a vertical position, and if not, he will send that Reaper straight away across map. Of course, his opponent is in a vertical position, so this is something he'll be able to spot with this SCV and have a pretty good idea about from the very start of this game. So, moving across the map here, Kaup going to look to head in towards this main base, try and see what's going on. And of course he's got that Reaper to come along next as well to just double check what's happening. Single gas expand it seems to be for Dominus right now, and no second gas taken for him just yet as this SCV about to come up to the high ground. And here we go. So Cap going to be able to start identifying what's going on. Sees that probe going down to the low ground as well, and Dominus most likely just going to be making his nexus with this here in the next few moments. His Zealot, he could cancel that and get that extra 100 minerals, which is probably what he's going to do, and there he does it. He knows that SCV is not in position to block this nexus, so cancels the Zealot and comes back up to the high ground now. Mothership core starts up, and a Stalker will be able to start up very shortly as well, as he'll probably want to start up his Stargate fairly soon also, as I see the Reaper starting to come across the map. And still no real signs of what Dominus wants to do yet in this game. I mean, we're just at early stages, both players just expanding for now, as that reactor comes down here for Calp as well on this barracks. So reactor coming in, and this Reaper going to be able to jump up to the high ground here in a couple of moments and try and go for a second scout to see what's going on in this base. But again, there's not really too much to see still, as no extra buildings being added just yet. And Calp, realising this pretty swiftly, will move out of this main base and yeah, just head away for now. So Nexus is just chilling here, building up, as is the command centre back at home. A couple of Marines on the way, and there's a couple more barracks coming in for Calp. He did put out of gas pretty quickly after going into the reactor, and we'll just be able to produce a bunch more Marines right now, as we do see the Stargate being added on for Dominus. So as you would expect, the Stargate coming in here, and this Reaper is going to turn away. I mean, if he really wanted to, he could have ran past that and seen the Stargate, but he wanted to keep it alive. So keeping the Reaper alive, and going to try and come around the natural, but again, there's not really much for him to see there either, and moving back once again. And this Reaper just chilling out. And again, going to try and come in and scout once more here. The Stargate is well on the way up now. So he's going to come in this time. I mean, he's actually going to dive in, and he dives into a Stalker. He will get taken down here. So unfortunately, that Reaper dies. He doesn't get the information, and this Oracle for now will not be spotted. As a second gas finishes up here for Cap. Double tech lab coming down. He's got 4 Marines in the bunker at the front. He needs to start rallying some Marines into his main base, just in case there is going to be an Oracle. You know, he doesn't know, so he has to start preparing. He starts up an engineering bay. Oracle about 60% of the way done, so he'll be out here in the next 10 seconds now, and we'll be heading across the map as well very, very shortly. So with the Oracle about to come out here, Dominus begins to move across the map and looks to try and get some damage done. That engineering bay is on the way. We've got a couple of Marines moving out as well to try and get some vision, and this Marine is just not quite far enough to the left to actually see this Oracle passing by. So that's again a little bit of a misfortunate coincidence there for Calp, just not quite seeing that. And this Oracle will continue forward now in towards the main base, and let's see if it can get any damage done, or if or not. And 6 Marines here straight away, and Dominus actually misclicking there, tries to take down the factory instead of the SCP building the factory. Loads up into the bunker, and Calp not able to do. Not taking any damage at all. Not a single Marine has been lost so far. Not a single SCV has been lost. This Oracle completely killless right now as it comes back into the main base. I'm going to try and snipe that SCV building the factory, but again, well-positioned Marines will turn this away for a little bit more longer. And this Oracle will just have to admit that it's not going to have much of an opportunity to do much here. Mortal being chrono boosted out in the road bay on the way, so as we'd expect from any pros player, Colossi pretty much starting to come in here. And this forward base, something which is currently not being utilised by Dominus. Not going for that just yet. 1 kill now onto this Oracle. And that will now move back. So just picking off 1 single SCV. Colossus on the way, extended thermal lance on the way. Another SCV picked off there as it pops out. Well, I think it might be the Marine. Oh, it was another SCV. It's another SCV again picked off there. Starport being built up, and reactor coming in as well, as this Oracle is trying to find a place to run by. Comes into the main base right now, and we'll be able to come in and do a little bit more damage. Trying to find a little something to do. You can get these SCVs on the gas maybe, but again, he's not too confident, and Marines will be able to turn this away. He's done a good job of keeping the health on the Oracle, though. He's only taken 1 or 2 shots on it after losing the shields. And for now, Calp will just continue on. Phoenix production has begun for Dominus, and a second star gets started up, so you can go into a Phoenix Colossi composition. There's these 2 Stalkers sitting at the front as well. First Colossus out with a Robo, with an Immortal as well. And for now, still no third base, which is quite interesting to me. So no third base, not rushing to this. As Stim comes in, he should be able to get this Oracle now. He's just going to get away, really? Wow, that Oracle just escaping. Only 2 more kills on it. Only 2 kills on it still though, so no extra damage done. You got a couple of shots on SCVs, but on 2 different SCVs, and oh, the Marine intercepts it, and the Oracle goes down here, and immediately now Calp, well, he was already beginning to move out, but he is going to continue moving out now, and his first 2 medevacs are going to join up with him. So nice time to be able to pick off that Oracle, as now it gives him complete freedom to move out on the map. And one simple straight up push should be able to pick off this 3rd base. There's 2 Colossi out though. Not much to really back them up apart from the Phoenix, however. And coming in now, we actually see a factory spotting these 2 Phoenix. Will land. And can continue moving forward with these units. Is he got enough to really fight against the Colossi and the Immortals though? I don't really think so. He's going to send a Phoenix medevac straight through these Phoenix. And that can work out too well for him as this Marine gets lifted up. And Phoenix going to pick that off here, and Marine's stimming forward. Calp getting ready to maybe go into this, and he's actually going to stim forward, but there's a time warp, and that's going to stop him from really doing too much here. Picks off the mothership core, and that's a nice little pick off, as some Marines are also going to get picked off in the retreat here. He's going to go forward again, maybe, as Phoenix is going to continue picking off whatever they can, turning around and fighting, but the Colossi in hot pursuit will continue to just do a little bit of damage here and there. Calp going to lose his Marine on the tower, falling back home now towards his 3rd base. And the 2nd starport on the way up for him here, and Adonis isn't going to chase much further. He'll be happy with the damage he got done there. Lost his mothership core, but a pretty minor loss there compared to losing a Colossi or 2 Colossi or anything along those lines. So Adonis looking strong, looking good still. Why is my stream not on Team Liquid? Team Liquid, please fix your stream thing. Sometimes it's really annoying if the stream just disappears. So Adonis still just sitting strong here. Sitting strong, looking good. Factory's slowly been moving its way forward, and we'll see this Phoenix overhead now. And we've got a medevac loaded up. A couple of Marauders, a few Marines. Phoenix are moving out of position, and this is something Calp will spot with this Marine before getting picked up there. So he knows this Phoenix count is out of position, but he's now coming back. And Thomas is going to move away again. He's scan coming in, revealing the army at the front. Some cannons being added on to make it very difficult to actually engage into this free base Protoss player. But army finishing up here, Calp going to be able to go into his own +2. And this medevac going to have to turn around pretty quickly. And we'll get a single Marauder off before that gets lifted up. And a single Marine as well will also be lifted up here by Adonis. So that job not achieving anything at all. Job deflected from the natural expansion as well. And Adonis not really taking any damage here, just sitting strong. And he's actually already had a pretty decent lead here in this game, but he doesn't have upgrades, which is something worth notifying and worth noticing, I guess. No upgrades, and of course that's pretty standard with the Phoenix Colossi player. You're spending your extra gas on Phoenix instead of upgrades, for example, so you don't really have the gas to go for both. And 2-2 now on the way for our Terran players, so he just has to play this patiently, sit back, continue to build an advantage in whatever way he can, which is mostly going to be the upgrades. Phoenix coming across here, and there's not quite enough, well, there isn't nowhere near enough Marines in this army. And I mean, these Marines are all just going to get picked up by the Phoenix, and Calp can't really fight this, so another few Marines going down there, and Calp just going to have to fall back all the way to his army. As, well, he's got a fair few Vikings out right now. He's up to 8, and he's got double starport whirling away with double reactors, so he's making 4 Vikings at a time. And, shield's taken off one of those Phoenix. Dropship over here, still ready to come back towards the natural as the Marine spots this 4th base on the way for our Protoss player. These Phoenix continue to just fly around picking off that Marine there. And again, 2-2 halfway done now for our Terran, as 4 more Vikings continue to come up in the production tab. Not too much on the ground right now for Calp, and that's not too much of an issue. I mean, there's not really too much on the ground even for Adonis once the Colossi have been dealt with. The main issue with Phoenix Colossi is dealing with the we're dealing with the Colossi while the Phoenix are able to shoot at the Vikings. This job trying to find a way in, but gets cleaned up without too much further issue. And again, Calp just gonna have to fall back for now. Paladin set up here for Adonis, so you can come in and do some harassment should Calp leave his entire army. Few more Vikings coming forward here and meeting up, and up to 16 Vikings now, or 15. Vikings 16 and 17 in the production tab. Ghost Academy being added on. 2-2 about to finish for our Terran player, and again, I think he's playing this out very smartly, just not rushing into anything here. just building up everything he may need. And the only thing he's really missed, I don't understand why he doesn't just start up a 4th command center. So these Vikings all just continuing to be built and going up towards 20 now. So if we look at the units tab, 25 Phoenix, 6 Colossi, and 7 Colossi is being made. And it's going to be all about these Phoenix more than anything, as a couple of Ghosts will be able to join in here very soon. There's a couple of Marines off to a bit of an interesting place. A few Zealots going to come into the middle of the map here, and Marauder just going to escape without too much of an issue. Some more units being sent to the middle to be able to deal with these. And this poor Marauder, is he going to get cleaved to death? No, he will not. But some Phoenix are going to be sent out to the middle of the map to clean this up. And again, these Phoenix doing a great job of just cleaning up units without taking any damage at all. And a couple of Marines over here may pick off the Zealot. He gets the Zealot. And now we'll lose the Marines to the Phoenix. So again, the Phoenix just continue to do a lot of damage. So much energy on them. And of course, that's one of the big issues. If you've got bio, if them Phoenix are left over and there's only bio left on the ground, they can pick up all of the bio and just clean it out without too much of an issue. So a few more units being produced here for Kalp. He is finally getting towards maxed out. He's not started 3-3, so letting his opponent catch up a bit on upgrades. +1's already finished on the ground weapons. And we see +1 armor coming in as well as +2 attack. And Temple Hawkeye's also coming in for Adonis here, so he's beginning to get to a stage where he can just continue going forward in this game, continue to tech. As he's going to land his command center here as well. The 4th command center, Kalp, going to be set up, but Adonis has such a bank built up, 2k500. And Kalp just going to slowly sit in the middle of, well, he is not going to necessarily slowly, but slowly move forward onto the map, I guess, because he's not exactly going forward at the speed of light here. Just sitting around in the middle, not really rushing forward. We'll storm on the way now. And we saw Ghost Academy added on. There is a couple of ghosts in the army, 3 ghosts to be exact. A scan coming down here. A couple of stalkers running into their deaths. 3-3 now starting for our Terran player as well. +2 sky weapons is about, or +2 vehicle and ship weapons about to finish up. That will give them Vikings a little bit of an advantage, shooting down them Colossi nice and quickly. As moving forward here, so many cannons being added in front on this. You know what I'd like to see Cap do? I'd love to see him just come along here with some SCVs, build a ton of turrets, and just set up a defensive position and just stop Adonis from doing anything. Because Adonis isn't going to move off of 4 bases. He's just invested, what, like 1,500 resources-ish or more into cannons. He's not going to be wanting to move out anytime soon. So Cap, you can just, there we go, he's starting to build turrets. I like it! This is what I want to see. Build up a bit of a turret contain, continue to expand around the map, and just let your opponent walk into you. We're seeing some nukes starting to be added in here. So this ghost play could be pretty cute, as we're seeing some rocks being cleared out for Cap to try and harass with. So, Don missed on a separate 5th base, and this is something which actually, could be dealt with by a drop or so, because there's nothing really in position over there to, shut down to defend that 5th base. Again, Adonis is relying heavily on these cannons and the Phoenix, and Phoenix are going to be sent over there. And Kalp unsure as to how he wants to deal with this still. Adonis is just continuing to expand. We're up to 2 turrets now, and another turret being added on, as we actually see carriers. Wow, how did I miss them in the production tab? Carriers are here, guys, and interceptors are being made to be used with these. As more turrets being added on, but is it just a little bit too late? Does Adonis move forward now? He sees these turrets coming down. I think he does. Here we go. Guardian Shield dropped, and it's going to have to be some good set of EMPs, a good load of well, he's going to drop the nuke to begin with, but it's going to get that ghost killed off immediately here. Some EMPs coming down, stopping a lot of these, taking all of the energy off the Phoenix. But Adonis breaks out of this position without too much of an issue, but at the same time some units coming down here and may actually be able to kill off a 5th base. No, don't be stupid, the Phoenix are here in plenty of time to lift these up and to stop that from happening. Cap going to try and come back in now. Scans, he sees a couple of these Temple, he's going to try and pick these off, a couple of snipes, and there we go, 1 snipe, but doesn't quite get there in time, and still has to be a little bit careful of them Phoenix coming in and lifting up his army. There's some SCVs here repairing up some of these Vikings, stimming forward, and he might decide to just go for this now. Vikings in the sky, picking off a few units, maybe a Colossus and nearly a carrier. Nowhere near as much as I thought it was going to be. And Kalp will just fall back here once again, struggling for minerals, dropping some mules now. That will help him out as another orbital command comes up for him. Again, he needs to keep on expanding. He's got a couple more command centers finishing up here. There's some more ghosts being added into his army. So he's kind of, almost pure Viking ghost now with a handful of bio to help him out. And he has to make a fight of his life now as coming forward. A ghost is going to start dropping a nuke. Anonymous has to be very, very careful to begin with here. This army continues to move forward onto this nuke. The Ghost is going to get targeted down. That was casting the nuke. Great control there by Anonymous as the Ghosts are going to drop the EMPs. And, well, is there just going to be enough? Is the question, and I think the answer is going to be no. Cow is losing absolutely everything. There's no cloak on these Ghosts or anything, which is really hurting him. It means these nukes aren't just aren't landing at all, and well, I think this is going to be it. Anonymous moves forward. GG is called, and Cascade secure a place in the grand finals of the SC2 Improved Team League Season 3, where they'll go up against StarTale in the grand finals. Alternate, they drop down to the 3rd place match, where they'll play against College Esports for the 3rd place finish. Well played by Cascade. Honestly, after Showtime fell, I think it was going to be a tough ask for Alternate, and it turned out to be, Calby stayed in the game for quite some time, but he wasn't really making any, he wasn't making any progress. He wasn't getting anywhere. He was just stuck, doing basically nothing, and well, GG's well played, and congratulations to Cascade. They make it to the finals here.